welcome to Bewitching Stitches. If you've been here before, then welcome back. And if you haven't, then welcome to the Crafty Coven. So yeah, I know I missed last week's vlog. Just having a bit of an off week really, both sort of mental and physical health wise. Sometimes I suffer from bouts of extreme like fatigue and exhaustion, so I was just having a week where I just couldn't really do anything. But I mean, I'm back, so that's good. And the other good thing is, obviously when I am really fatigued, I spend a lot of time knitting. So I've got 2 finished objects to show you this week. So yeah, I pretty much will just get straight into it, I guess. So I'll sort of start off with the less exciting of the 2 finished objects. A guy I work with, he's built a lovely catio for his cats so they can go outside, but you know they can't, because I know one of them went missing last year, so he's quite worried about letting them back out, so he's built them a catio, and because it's him and his 3 male cats, he decided the theme for the catio would be camouflage. So he's asked me if I would make a little blanket for one of the little cat beds he's got in there. So yeah, we're having a little, like a secret Santa at work at the moment, but obviously it's not Christmas, just to sort of cheer everybody up because we're all struggling with, you know, obviously with COVID and that at the moment. It's just getting everybody down, so yeah, we thought we'd have a little to cheer us up, everyone buy each other a little gift. So luckily I drew him, and so I thought, oh, well, it's perfect, I'll just make him the blanket as his gift. I haven't woven the ends in yet, so ignore those. But yeah, it's a little hexagonal, I don't know how well the colour's going to come out on this. It's a hexagonal granny, and what I've done is just double-stranded the yarn. So it looks black on here, but it's like a dark foresty green, one strand, and then I've mixed up, I've got some like beige, some like multicoloured wool, some cream, a bit of like a minky colour, some dark brown, and just sort of, yeah, gone a bit random with it to give it like a camouflagey sort of colour scheme. So yeah, that's all done. It only took me one evening, because I double-stranded the yarn. I used I think a 6.5mm hook, so yeah, really quick and easy to do, and it's really nice, squishy, and hopefully him and his cats will enjoy it. And that again was made from all yarn I had in my stash, just little scraps, like I say, held double with the green. So yeah, really chuffed with that, happy with how it turned out. My other finished object I'm really excited about actually, because it's probably the most complicated knitted item I've made so far, since I got back into knitting. So I saw the pattern on Ravelry, and instantly I saw it and I was like, I've got to make it for Tom, my other half, because he loves like hiking and camping and being outdoors, and he loves like the forests and things like that. So I saw this pattern and I was like, I have to make it for him. It's called the Alaska hat. I can't remember who it's by, but I'll link the Ravelry pattern down in the description box for you guys. But yeah, this is the hat. You may have seen a picture of this on my Instagram if you follow me on Instagram. So yeah, it's just a little bobble hat, sort of elongated rib section at the bottom, you can fold back, and then stranded colour work through the rest of it just to make this gorgeous tree pattern. Yeah, so the colours I chose, this is the navy at the bottom is Drops Nord in navy, just because I loved the yarn I had for the pair of socks I made, so I thought it would be perfect for a hat. So yeah, that, and Tom's favourite colour is like navy, so I thought it'd be perfect. And the top, I think it's, I want to say sheeples? I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. And I think the yarn is called Our Tribe. It's like a single ply wool in like variegated colour. I don't know how well that's going to come out, but I thought I wanted to go for like a variegated colourway so it looks like, you know, like the sky in early morning for the sunrise, or, you know, something like that. Some of the examples I've seen other people make them in are in some gorgeous colourways. So I definitely would like to make some more of these. I think I might make one for myself with a pom-pom. But yeah, it's my first ever knitted hat. It's my first big piece of stranded colour work. Yeah, and I really love it. I'm really chuffed with it. Tom seems to like it as well, which is good, although he's never that enthusiastic about anything I make. But yeah, he does seem to like it. He loves the hat, so yeah, it'd be good for him for the winter, and because it's wool it should be nice and cosy for him as well. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with that. I think I might, like I say, I might make one for myself. I was thinking maybe black for the trees, and maybe like a pinky, orangey, reddy sort of sunset colourway would be really nice for the background. So if you have any yarn ideas, 4-ply yarn in that sort of sunsetty sort of ombre colourway, let me know, because I have been looking for a few but I can't really find any that match perfectly to what I want. So if you know of any, or if you've used any previously, let me know. So they're my two finished objects. And I've only really been knitting this week, and last week I should say. I haven't been spinning a lot lately at all. I just seem to have, I think because I'm focusing so much on projects I need to get done in time for Christmas and things like that, I've just sort of, yeah, the spinning's tailed off. So yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll get back into it soon. I just, you know what it's like, you sort of phase in and out of different projects. So yeah, so I'll show you I've got one project the same as last time and one brand new cast on as well. So I'll show you how I'm doing on my project. I really shouldn't put things so far away. Okay, so this is my Hermione's Everyday Socks. So last week, well not last week, but 2 weeks ago when I showed you, I was just starting the heel flap, and this sock I have now finished completely. So that's how it looks. I really love it. I love the colourway, and how it goes well with this pattern. I like that on the foot here you've got the texture and then the plain, so you can see the stripes a bit clearer on the plain. I really like it. I think it's turned out lovely. This new stitch I used for the heel as well I think is really pretty. Nice and squishy. So yeah, that one's completely finished, and I have cast on sock 2 as well. So I'm just sort of halfway down the leg of this one, and I tell you what is really exciting. Look at that! As far as I'm aware, I have almost completely, perfectly colour matched the two of them. So I was well chuffed with myself when I saw that. I had to wind a little bit off, but yeah, I'm chuffed. So yeah, a little bit more on the leg of this one. I'll start turning the heel. It's a nice easy knit actually, the pattern's really nice. With this leg part it's only really pattern every other row, so it's a pattern row, a plain row, pattern row, plain row. So it works up really nicely. It's a bit more interesting than just boring sort of vanilla sock knitting, but it's not too much that you have to sort of really concentrate on it. Yeah, really enjoying knitting these. I think I'd definitely do another pair. And this yarn I also love. This is the West Yorkshire Spinners collaboration with Winwick Mum in the colourway Seascape. And I purchased this off the lovely Angela at Yarn and Yarns. I also am really fancying the purple colourway that they have as well. Yeah, I know Angie's knitting a pair of socks out of the purple colourway at the moment, and I really do like that. It knits up really pretty on a pair of socks. And yeah, I feel like might have to buy that one at some point. So yeah, that's those. Like I say, I'm really chuffed with how they're going on. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. Really chuffed. Everything this week, really chuffed. So last thing I've got to show you is a new cast on. So it is a project that's been in my Ravelry queue for a little while now. But I went to see my mum in the week and she had bought some yarn from Aldi. Do you remember, I don't know if any of you watched my previous videos, you'll remember the little granny square crop top I made out of some cotton yarn I bought from Aldi. And it turns out my mum, completely independently, had been to Aldi and bought the exact same yarn as me. She bought one ball of the mustard, so the same as the one that I had, and also one ball of this glorious teal colour. But she was like, I don't know if I'm going to use it. She said, I don't know what to do with it. She said, yeah, she's like, you can have it if you want. So this ball and a ball of the yellow off her. So I saw this colour and I thought, ooh, this would go perfectly on one of the patterns that I've saved in my queue. So I cast that on. It doesn't really look like much at the moment because it's a weird one. So I'm trying to find a way to show you. So this is the right front piece, and then I've just cast on the left front. So basically you knit the two triangular front pieces. It's a Cami, basically, it's a camisole, and then you join to knit the body. Then you join them both to knit the body. I'll link the pattern down below. I think it's called, I want to say, Boho Cami or something like that. But yeah, it's a really, really pretty pattern, and it's something I can actually see myself wearing in the summer. It'd be something nice just to throw on, nice and cool because it's in cotton as well. I do love a cami style top, so I think that'll be fab. I think I have slightly less in the way of meterage than the pattern calls for, but I know there is extra yarn included on the pattern for it's got like a little tassel at the front, like an I-cord that you tie in a bow. So if necessary I'll just make that shorter, or I'll leave it off if I really don't have enough. So I'm not too worried, I'll just keep going and see where I get to. But yeah, it's quite a nice pattern. It's a little bit confusing for me. I've never knit anything like this before, like within the two separate parts, but I'm sure you guys wouldn't have any difficulty with it because you're all much more competent knitters than I. But yeah, it's nice to try something new anyway, and I had to have a go at doing a provisional cast on as well. It's the first time I've ever done that. So I don't know if I've done it right, but we'll see. If I'm back next week raging because I've had to unpick the whole thing and frog the entire garment and start again because my provisional cast on didn't work, then well, you know. But yeah, that's all I've been working on. I say all, I mean 2 finished objects, I can't really complain, can I? And a new cast on, and obviously I've been working on the other project, the knit and crochet blanket. I was due to get that finished by the end of the month, but not needed now until Christmas. So yeah, the person that I was making it for, they asked for something else for the birthday, so yeah, not needed now until Christmas, so I can calm down on that one a little bit. I am over halfway on that now, so that's nice. Yeah, so yeah, I'm getting on well with projects, trying to get everything lined up between now and Christmas so that I know what I'm working on. But sometimes, I don't know if you guys are the same, like I like to plan what I'm doing, but I find if things are a bit too planned I get a bit bored. Like sometimes it's nice just to spontaneously cast on a project like the Cami, you know. It's so I like to leave a little bit of spare room for me to cast on, you know, like a fun project. Not that obviously the other things I'm working on aren't fun, but you know, like something spontaneous. The hat was completely spontaneous as well. It's nice just to mix things up a little bit. Yeah, I haven't really got anything in the way of crochet going on at the moment either, which is unusual for me. So I might have to, I think I'm just trying to find, I don't know, I've been a bit funny with crochet patterns lately. I can't seem to find any that I like. So yeah, I might start a crochet project depending on what I can find. Obviously I did the blanket. I don't really count things like that. I know that's bad. I wouldn't count that as a crochet project because it only took me one evening. I have got to start the Christmas tree mat pattern. I think that'll be crochet. But yeah, not much else going on. Oh, actually, I tell you what I can show you. Got some acquisitions this week. Thanks to, well, partly thanks to Ange at Yarn Yarns. She did a lovely video for Vlogtober showing us some of her favourite yarn related books. And I'm a sucker for things like that. So I saw a couple of them on there and I was like, I need to buy those. So I popped over to my favourite secondhand book website. If any of you are interested in buying secondhand books, I thoroughly recommend World of Books. It's fab. Yeah, all secondhand, really reasonable prices. So go check that out. I'll just run and grab my books because I forgot to bring them in, and I'll show you what I've got. And I'm back with books. Okay, so we'll start off with the ones that Ange recommended. Oh, cold on my bare leg. So 4 books I bought in total, 3 recommended by Ange, 2 knit, 2 crochet. So we'll start off with the knit one that Ange recommended, which is Sock Anatomy by Claire Devine. And yeah, Ange was saying this is really good if you're getting sort of started with sock knitting. Basically, like, even though I can competently knit a heel flap and gusset sock now, top down, I do want to try some other sort of heel types and sort of techniques. So this is nice. It's got patterns in it for some pairs of socks. Obviously it's a sock book, but also various different socks use different heel techniques, and some are toe up and some are cuff down. So I thought that would be really good just to sort of learn a few more, you know, tips and tricks for sock knitting. So that's that one. The 2 crochet books that Ange recommended then was this one, 200 crochet blocks for blankets, throws and afghans by Jan Eaton. And as Ange was saying, it's fab for, you know, if you've got to do like a baby blanket, or you want to do a throw blanket, or you're trying to use up some scrap yarn, you just, yeah, can just have a little browse through here, pick out some little crochet squares, and yeah, I mean, it tells you each square gives you ideas for other squares that will go nicely with it as well, and there's some ideas of pairings and things you can, you know, put together. So yeah, there's a really nice selection of crochet blocks in there. You can see some of them on the back. So I think that'll be really handy for when you just need a quick pattern and think, oh, I'll just do that one, and just sort of, yeah, go for it. So that I thought would be really useful. And then to go with that, also recommended by Ange, is Around the Corner Crochet Borders by Edie Ackman. And this again does what it says on the tin. It's just a selection of crochet borders, which is always good because, you know, sometimes you do a blanket and you think, oh, it looks a bit plain. Yeah, it's nice to have like some new border ideas. So I can just pick some blocks from this one and a border from this one, boom, a blanket. So that'll be handy, I think. You know, like I say, that's just me destroying the place. So yeah, I think this will be handy for like baby blankets and things like that. And then the last one, this is a book I've been meaning to buy for a while. Sorry, just moving the camera there. So when I first learnt to crochet, my friend's mum taught me, but I wanted something that I could use as a reference for when I was at home, because obviously, you know, when you haven't got somebody there to troubleshoot your problems, you know, kind of panic. So I thought I'll get a good book that'll help me. So I bought, it's up on the shelf up there, Ultimate Crochet Bible, and it is by, hang on, I'll tell you. I think it says Jane Crawford. Yeah, I ordered it from like one of those book people things, and it's absolutely fab. It's, if any of you need a book that sort of walks you through each crochet stitch and all the techniques, crocheting in the round, it's fantastic. It's got patterns in there as well, but it's really, really good for just learning techniques. And you know, if you're going through a pattern, you come across something, you think, I don't know what that is. I just find it so easy to yeah, just follow the instructions in there. It's fab. So I saw that they do a knitting version of the same book, basically. So Ultimate Knitting Bible, and this one is by Sharon Brandt. So I thought, because I'm less competent at knitting, it would be fab just to have a reference book, you know, for the same sort of thing as I had for the crochet. So this just talks you through knitting basics, and then there's a section on structure and shaping, so how a garment is formed and things like that. And then there's a section on texture with stitches, so things like cables and cross stitches and lace knitting and things like that. And then there is types of knitting, so circular, double points, knitting a sock, making pockets, short row shaping, basically all the things that you could come across in a pattern and go, that sounds complicated. I can look them up in here. There's also knitting with colour, so it talks you through like a tarsia and stranded colour work, and what's this section called? Embellishments, so adding beads and sequins and embroidery, tassels, pom-poms, and then professional finishing techniques. So blocking, grafting, sewing in ends, stitching things together, setting in sleeves, all of things like that. And then there's a section on troubleshooting as well, so like if your knitting is uneven, or if you want to alter the length of a garment, or if your work is unravelling and you don't know what to do, how to look after your knitwear, you know, things like that. And then the last section is, oh no, it's not the last section, I lie. Designing and adapting patterns, so how to just tweak patterns to make them right for you, and design your own patterns if that's what you want to do. And there is also a section at the back called crochet for knitting. So things like I was saying, like a provisional cast on, crocheting along knitted edges for borders and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought it'd just be really handy just as a reference to sort of, you know, when I come across something in a pattern, have a slight panic that I don't know what I'm doing, I can just pick this up and look up what it is, basically. So yeah, that's my acquisitions from the last 2 weeks, really. Like I say, I'm blaming Ange for this one. It's mostly your fault, Ange. I never need an excuse to buy new books, especially yarn related books, so yeah. But yeah, thank you for the recommendations, Ange, and anybody out there who's looking for knit and crochet books, I thoroughly recommend all 4 of these. I haven't obviously made anything from them just yet, but I think they'll be really, really useful. So yeah, recommend. But yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you for joining me. Sorry again for missing last week. I know a couple of people have been saying that they've been having you know, a bad week mental health wise. I think we're all struggling at the moment. The situation really isn't a good one in terms of stress levels and all of that stuff. I know in Wales we're on a 2-week fire break now, so it basically means I can't leave the house again for 2 weeks except to go to work. So yeah, it sucks, really, it does. But we'll keep going. But no, the knitting community and knit and crochet community, you're all fab for sort of keeping each other going and giving encouragement. So yeah, that's it. Everybody leave your best tips in the comments for dealing with the current situation. And it's okay to have bad days and bad weeks, I think is the main thing I'm trying to say. We all are at the moment, so it's okay. We'll get through it, guys. Even if I come out the other end with 3,000 knitted items as a result. But yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Let me know your thoughts on my finished projects. Let me know what you're working on as well. If you knit anything or crochet anything or work on anything while you're watching this, let me know. I'd love to see what you're working on. But yeah, until next week, I'll see you guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye bye.